you explain the term asexual to someone, most people have this reaction like, really? How could you live without sex? I literally could never. But that is not 100% true. Asexuality is a broad spectrum with multiple identities under it. And there are actually many reasons why someone on the asexual spectrum might have sex. And no, that doesn't make them any less asexual. Asexuality just means little to no sexual attraction. It has nothing to do with your actual actions. You wouldn't tell a bisexual person they weren't really bi just because they've only been with one gender now, would you? Anyway, let's get into some reasons why someone who's on the asexual spectrum might have sex, and how this isn't invalidating to their asexual identity. I will also be using some data collected by a recent survey done over on Angsty Ace's TikTok. So shout out to Rachel, I'll have her links down in the description box below. So this might be the most obvious reason for an asexual person to do the no pants dance with someone. I personally think that no matter who you are or what your sexual orientation is, everyone wants to have some kind of connection or be close to someone or a group of people. And this can look different for everyone, including people on the asexual spectrum. For some folks on the ace spectrum, holding hands and kissing is how they feel that connection with a partner or partners, but for others, sex is how they feel that connection. And again, I hope this goes without saying, but every single asexual person's boundaries and comfortabilities are so different. And if you happen to have a partner who is on the asexual spectrum, always be sure to ask what that person is comfortable with. In that recent survey done on ACAC's channel, over 50% of the 5,000 asexuals who participated in the survey called Asexual Sexuality, they said that their feelings on sex tends to fluctuate, which kind of proves that asexuality and those who are in the asexual spectrum are a bit different than how most people would probably think of asexuality, where most people are fairly repulsed. There were a lot of people who said that they were comfortable with certain things, or they fluctuate between being sex positive or sex neutral. It really just depended. And as someone who is demisexual myself, I'm gonna use myself as an example of someone who is on the asexual spectrum and my feelings around sex fluctuating. I personally have some hard no's that I am never comfortable with and never will be comfortable with. And then there are other things that I personally have to be in the mood for that are a bit more negotiable for me depending on the day. So be sure to keep that communication open with your ace partner and take those hard no's as this is never gonna happen, for the love of God. Again, I feel like this should probably be a bit more of an obvious one, but it feels good. And asexual people wanting to feel good in their bodies shouldn't take away from their asexuality. It's actually a very common misconception that asexual folks have no libido or have a very little libido, and that's why they don't have sex. And this is simply just not true. Like I said before, asexuality is a sexuality. Sexual attraction is based on who or who you're not attracted to, versus libido, which is how much your body is desiring certain actions. So yes, there are asexual people who have high libidos and have personal fun time and then fun times with partner or partners on a regular basis and are still asexual because they're not sexually attracted to the person or people that they are having those intimate times with. And going back to the survey done, about 29% of the participants did say that they will or did have sex for the physical pleasure aspect of it. I remember being a younger asexual person and thinking what the hype around sex was all about. I just genuinely didn't get it at all. And not gonna lie, as a demisexual person who is fairly sex repulsed the majority of the time, even though I have engaged in said activities, I still sometimes think to myself, yeah, I really don't know what everyone's freaking out about. But there are asexuals or people on the asexual spectrum who have had sex or would have sex just because they're curious about it. And in fact, it was 40% of asexuals who took the asexual sexuality survey that put curiosity down as a reason that they would have sex. And that blew my mind. I personally definitely fall under the first section of this video as to a reason why I personally engage in those activities. But seeing that a lot of asexuals are curious about sex and what it feels like and all that is so interesting to me, because most of the time our community is very much portrayed in a way that makes it seem like all asexuals are sex repulsed. So it really is fascinating for me to see this kind of data being collected and knowing how people who are ace and on the asexual spectrum are really feeling about sex and showing the opposite of this stereotype. Okay, so this is a bit of a less fun one to talk about, but there are unfortunately asexuals out there who have done the do because of societal pressures on them to do so. I don't think people truly understand, or maybe they do, I don't know, just how much pressure is put on people in Western societies to have sex, which is so weird to me because at least in the US, our political climate leans very much towards Christian evangelical extremists, where they don't want you to have sex, but then when you're married, they want you to breed like rabbits. It's a whole thing, and I don't get it. That is a rant for a whole other video. But sex is used as some rite of passage in many different ways, and as an asexual person, we can really feel infantilized and isolated because of that, which can cause some people on the asexual spectrum to have sex out of those societal pressures. I also just want to touch on the fact that asexuals and asexuality have a long history of conversion therapy and getting their asexuality fixed. And why people care about asexuals not having sexual attraction will always confuse me. So for anyone who is on the asexual spectrum and has either had sex because of this reason or is thinking about having sex because of this reason, you are valid. Don't let other people make you feel bad for what you decide to do or what you decide to not do with your body. At the end of the day, we're just folks randomly floating around this space rock. So remember to do what makes you happy. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think some other reasons why ace folks might engage in sexual activities. I think it's a really super interesting topic, and maybe I could do another video going a little bit deeper into these reasons someday. So let me know. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. There's like 86% of you that watch my videos and don't subscribe. So please, 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 this bitch is trying to get to as many queer, ace, non-binary, fun people like that. So please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!